What's going on, everyone? Hootmoney here with another video for you guys today. Today we are going to go over Aterian and redbox or Rdbx and Ater stocks, giving you guys the update analysis because I think both of them are decent swings at this current moment. So I thought it was, good time to bring you guys the update. Anyways, if you guys don't mind dropping a like on the video, if you guys enjoy today's content, and also if you want more of it, you can subscribe to the channel if y'all are new. We also have Hootmoney trade alerts where I mention all of my buy and sell alerts. We hit it off this morning with an Rdbx swing. We got it at open, swung it up about 10%. I made about $400 profit. It basically covered a full year of Hootmoney trade alerts. So if you want to check that out, that is the first link in the description, first link in the pinned comment section down below. Tons of happy members. Membership essentially pays for itself. Again, not financial advice, but that has just been what I have been hearing. Anyways, let's get into Ater. We are going to be looking at the market cipher chart. So a brief rundown of what market cipher is for those that are new is that it uses these blue momentum waves, and that basically shows where the momentum is heading. Is it negative momentum? It's behind this 0-point line. Positive momentum, it's above this 0-point line. You see the dotted line in the middle. That is basically where it flips from positive to negative or negative to positive momentum. There's also this yellow right here, which is a VWAP. It basically just shows you, it points in the direction the stock is most likely to be heading. When the VWAP crosses over the 0 point, it gives you either a red dot if it goes down across the 0 point, or a green dot if it goes above the 0 point. If it's oversold, it will also get a big green dot. So if it's below this white solid line. Then there's also these RSIs. The purple RSI is a bit different than the red RSI. When they split apart and the purple is below the red, this color is red. If the purple goes above the red, then it turns into a green RSI, which is better for buying. So with this all being said, the VWAP is currently pointing up right now, and it is on the downside. This is the weekly chart. So from a more macro perspective, Aterian is set up very, very, very nicely, but we can get into some of the shorter time frames so we can get an idea of what is going to happen in the near future. Daily chart has been negative momentum for such a long time. It has barely seen any upside on every single dip, and it's just been met with more dips. We've also seen a 100% Fibonacci retracement from its low right here to 213. We hit 210 the other day again. So it completed a 100% Fibonacci retracement, and now it has another buy signal back here. So this could be where Aterian does see some more upside, potentially to this upper fib level right here at around $3.20. 4-hour chart is going to show a different story. We actually are approaching that green money flow crossover, which is a good sign. You can see right here the red money flow has come up very, very much so. It's barely below the 0 point right now, and this is basically a sign that we could be going into some more positive momentum. When you do get those money flow crossovers, it'll turn into green money flow right there. However, 4-hour chart is also showing a little red dot signal, so there might be a bit more consolidation to come before we can get our next leg up. So we'll move into the hourly chart to see what's next. All right, so in the hourly chart, we are looking to get a nice green dot. We are in the negative momentum right now, and the VWAP is pointing up. The RSIs have not crossed yet into the green, so it might not be the best place to be getting in. And we also have the money flow coming down with that 4-hour red dot that we saw. So we will have to see how it reacts to this, whether it does form an uptrend with this bounce, because if it doesn't, if it does get rejected from maybe 242, there likely will be another leg down, and then it'll react to this demand zone back here, back to 220 or so. So this is a pretty crucial point for Aterian. If it does not bounce right now, and continue this uptrend back up, I think it's probably likely that it does continue back to 220. But if it doesn't, if it's able to break out, form a new high right here, then my price target would be this supply zone back up here around the fib level of around $3.22. So we are going to hope for a very strong bounce right here. That's all I really got for the TA. Let's move into the Ortex data. It's basically been fully maxed out pretty much forever. I mean, if we pull up utilization up here, it's gone down recently a little bit, but it's been at 100% for quite some time. If we actually look at the short interest, it's been coming down as well. So 27%, 29%. If we scroll down, 34% to 49%. So shorts are definitely trying to be getting out of Aterian, but they can't without creating a huge price movement. Likely what's been happening is just over the course of the past few months or so, they've just been slowly covering it. Like there have been spikes where there probably was some type of short covering, but there's also retail selling out, retail hitting stop losses, and all of that stuff, which kind of counteracts the covering, especially if retail is selling out, which definitely does happen. I mean, on balance volume is definitely very high on Aterian right now. Meaning that there are probably a decent amount of bag holders in it. But I'd say the reason that this short covering has not created a huge spike up in the price is probably because people are stopping out of it as well. So now that it is at more of a buy zone, more of a demand zone, any additional short covering will probably be met with additional buying, which is why I am bullish on Aterian as of right now. Cost to borrow has been at about 65%. It's been this way for quite some time as well. It's actually down 5%. Days to cover is coming up. That's a good sign that we might get some price movement as volume has subsided somewhat. Some of these short interest statistics have all come up as well over here, just the estimated short interest. So that is that right there. It's number 99 on the Fintel leaderboard, number 28 on the Gamma Squeeze leaderboard. So the original one, number 99, that was the short squeeze leaderboard, 200,000 shares to short. Borrow rate has been slightly coming down over the past 2 weeks. Not really the best sign. You want to see that borrow rate coming up for a short squeeze to occur. And then we have the FINRA exempt volume, so short exemptions. This is essentially a naked short sale by a market maker. This was about 5%. No, it was less than 5%. It was like 3%, 2%. Just doing some mental math here of the total volume on that day. More than we've seen in the past 2 weeks. This was also the day that Aterian finally made a move back up. You can see that on Friday, July. You can see that yesterday, not Friday, on July 5th, it actually came up pretty significantly. And then in pre-market, it hit 262 just to come down today. So a lot of that is because of this short exempt volume. So if Aterian is able to hold this price, there is a good chance that this could actually create some additional buying pressure of 100,000 shares, because short exemptions do have to be covered within 6 trading days. Last thing we can take a look at are the failure to delivers. They were not too high as of the last report. Still pretty high, but not too high. Only 94,000 of those right there. We also got some institutional call option action coming yesterday. This was around 12:25 p.m. So right after lunch. It was a $3 call option expiring on 7/15. There is a chance that they already cashed out of that call option and they were just playing the momentum right here. It also could be a hedge, but it's not in super high premium, only about 6,000 premium. So I don't really consider it to be a very huge deal. Moving into unusual whales, we are looking at call and put options, ask side only, so no selling of either of them, and then $1,000 in premium or more. We usually use $10,000 in premium, but since this is chilling out at a pretty low historical value, it typically correlates with low volume, which does show that there is opportunity if volume does come back. but overall there's going to be less call and put option volume as well, so that's why we had to bring it down to 1,000. It's mostly call options being placed. However, put options do seem to be in slightly higher premium there. It's split pretty 50-50, 53% bullish, 47% bearish. Bulls are going for 2024 and bears are going for 722. Now let's get into RDBX, which is a completely different animal. We're starting with the weekly chart. There is still a downtrend on the weekly chart. However, some of these other time frames are a bit more promising, such as this daily chart. Market cipher still in that green money flow, still oversold, and this yellow VWAP is pointing up, so it could be a pretty decent opportunity here. I mean, the last time it has basically presented the same opportunity was back down here at $3 per share, and then it ended up hitting about $18 per share. Now, it does seem like this longer term uptrend could be coming to an end on RDBX. 18 could have potentially been the peak of RDBX, but it doesn't mean that there's not any opportunity left on the stock. There's always going to be short covering. There's going to be bouncing. Shorts on this particular stock are probably waiting until the merger to happen, because the merger is going to be going for about 70 cents per share for one RDBX share. So 5.90 to 75 cents. I mean, that's a pretty good return for a short seller. They've probably already lost because of cost to borrow, but we can get into that when we're into the Ortex data. So it does look pretty good overall. We do have the green dot signals here on the 12-hour chart. We're about to get it on the daily chart like we were just saying. And it bounced pretty nicely off of this fib level right here, the 78.6% fib level. So because it was respecting this fib level this morning, I decided to take that position. And as you guys can see, it's been having a pretty solid day. We were in around 550. Right now it's at 620. So Hootmoney trade alerts, baby. Bag up with Hootmoney. First link in the description down below. In all honesty, where do I think this is going? I think it'll likely hit about $7.33 before it does see some selling pressure. That's the next supply zone. You can see that there was a supply zone over here. It busted right through that. So the next level to really be looking at is, I suppose, this area right here. We could get a potential supply zone, but that's not until $7.20 or so. So there is still some good upside until that point. And especially if you were able to get in when I called it out on live stream, called it out on Hootmoney trade alerts, you're in a pretty good position to simply just let this thing ride out. You can move your stop loss back up to your entry point, and then boom, you've got yourself a risk-free trade. Moving into the Ortex data on RDBX, one of the craziest stocks in the entire market. It is on the threshold list right now, sitting at 144% short interest. Now, remember that these shorts have been paying a super high cost to borrow. Most of them are likely down over 100% on their positions already, and they're refusing to close. So these short sellers probably don't want, they're probably just going to keep paying this cost to borrow, because if they haven't already closed, I don't see why they would close at this point, considering that one share of RDBX is going to be worth about 70 cents, right? So shorts are probably, despite them being down on their position, despite them in a losing position, probably just going to hold, right? So we'll focus more on the normal technical analysis right here. You could disagree with me if you want. Consider that, and you can think that shorts will cover. I don't think they will cover. I think they will just continue paying that cost to borrow, plain and simple. Moving into Fintel over here, we've got number 21 on that short squeeze leaderboard, number 30 on the gamma squeeze leaderboard. As of 4 hours ago, there were 0 shares left to short right there, and then the cost to borrow is chilling at 650%, which is down over the past 2 weeks. Not always the best sign. We also have a ton of FINRA exempt volume, literally about 33% of the free float over the past few days. This will have to be bought back, right? So if we do go 6 days from 630, these right here are going to have to be bought back by Friday. 600,000 of those short exempts, and as you guys can see, They could be doing it today, right? There has been a price movement up to the upside. They could be covering it for some profit as of today. I'm not necessarily going to bank on them doing that because they have over 600,000 of them due, but they could have already covered them. And then the failure to delivers are just absolutely ludicrous right here. 2,359,000. And what's also very interesting is that this is an increasing number, meaning that these brokers and market makers that failed to deliver the stock plan to just keep on doing it, right? They plan to just keep on failing to deliver, which is essentially, I mean, they're just trying to control the price through naked shorting, through those short exemptions, and through failure to delivers as well. So they're quite literally using every vehicle possible to control the price on RDBX, just because the situation we have going on with it is one of the most intense situations in the entire market. I mean, there's nothing that really compares. But yes, if you're a shareholder, you definitely should be upset because $36 million of value has been failed to deliver. That could be value sitting in your bank account, in your stock brokerage account right now, but it is sitting in the hands of market makers. So you should be mad. Here we have the institutional flow for RDBX. They haven't done anything there since 6/14. So if we're looking at the chart, that was all the way back here. This was the last time that they were hedging. Now that the price has been on the decline, they have been hedging a lot less. And we see it in the options flow. I mean, it's been pretty much only put options being placed here. Every single option bought today was a put option. Not a single call option was placed over 1,000 premium or more. Wow, this is incredible. And they're going for 819, so they're holding post merger and deep in the money at $28 per share, essentially synthetic short selling position. That's about it for the video. I hope you guys have enjoyed. As always, remember to drop a like on the video if you guys did enjoy, and subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Aterian is definitely a little bit less manipulated and is a bit more less risky of a play right now, as it's sitting in a demand zone and you're seeing short sellers actually try to close out of their position. RDBX a bit more manipulated, and with the manipulation comes added risk. It's not because RDBX is a bad play. It's most simply because RDBX is being just absolutely rug pulled by market makers. Market makers are essentially saying, no, you're not allowed to pay money for this stock, and if you do, we are just going to take it and we are just going to pocket it, and we're gonna give you back less money later. That's essentially what they are saying, and it's messed up, right? I mean, retail investors don't have access to these same tools that market makers do, and when market makers lose, they just cheat. I hate it. I hate how the system works, but we're going to have to try to make money off of it, right? So with that being said, there's always the chance for a rebound in RDBX, but I highly doubt it is going to make it back to that $18 figure. So those are my thoughts on that. Remember, if you want all of my buy and sell alerts, we bagged up on RDBX this morning. We swung it, made about a $500 profit real quick. That is the first link in the description, or first link in the pinned comment section down below. And that's all I got, my friends. I'll be seeing you guys next time. Have a wonderful day.